And then he closes the door and he's like, Eris, make us some drinks for our guests. And off she goes to make some drinks. The apartment you are in is well appointed and tastefully, if generically, decorated. You're greeted in a living room that is illuminated by a light well open to natural sunlight, separated from the galley kitchen by a wood-topped bar, where Eris is quickly making drinks for you guys. Would anyone like to look around the apartment?
No, my thing is in sight.
All right. Well, we know what Liz is doing.
Well, yeah, sure. Or like drink idea. Well, I mean, it would certainly be a good idea to like get a sense of like what's around us here in this apartment. I sure wouldn't mind. I'm always vigilant and always aware for the threats so that I might punch them. So by all means, I will study this with my beautiful optics suite. Tell me more about your apartment.
You have
Or the threats that I might punch them.
Make a hard perception check, any who wish it.
All right.
3 purple, please.
I'll look around.
No, I feel about the same as I did all those other times. I tried.
I'm gonna look at that liquor cabinet.
That was so triumphant, Ryan.
What is a triumph used? What kind of triumph be used for on a perception check?
I found the stash of good liquor.
All right.
To place details in the scene.
Yeah.
Well, you do know that there is some pretty good booze you're being about to be served. But Lissa, even in her drunken fueled rage,
all right.
she notes that the place is actually not inhabited. Shen, you would think that Shen is actually maintaining it as a front or has rented it exclusively for this meeting.
A triumph may be spent to notice details that can be useful later, so characters can gain boost dice on future interactions with the noticed element. I have no idea how that pertains to the situation, but
yeah, I'm not really sure there.
You notice how the chandeliers are. I don't know.
It's basically the same thing as the vigilance checks, as I understand it. You get to fabricate a piece of the scene.
Yeah. Anyways, as you're all seated around the bar, drinks in hand, Aaron de Shenwalt begin to address you. I'm pleased you came, the middle-aged Pantoran man dressed in elegant blues and maroons says. You have been reckoned to me as people with certain set of skills. I have a job offer for you, a scheme that requires those skills. What am I about to propose to you is illegal, confidential, and could be somewhat dangerous. And if you're successful, could pay out tens of thousands of credits, perhaps more. I think you'll discover it's well worth your trouble. Now, which one of you is interested in where's the fifth one?
He wasn't able to make it, but I do believe we are interested. Just says with a smile.
Good. A few days from now, a valuable gemstone will be auctioned here on Cloud City. The gem is known as the Jewel of Yavin and has a reputation for being unstealable. The plan is this. Infiltrate the auction and manipulate the bidders to raise the bid. We want the jewel to sell for as much as possible for maximum return when we slice into the central computer network and redirect the auction credits into our own accounts. The gala and the gem are being held at Fig & Associates, an art museum, which isn't designed to protect an object that valuable, making this the best chance we have to nab it. You heard me right, we're going to steal the gem twice. Then the Pantoran sits back, grinning from ear to ear. Well, what do you think?
Well, I mean,
I love the way this guy
stealing
talks.
Gem once. I mean, we're taking the money and whatever.
Yeah. Now would be the time to ask him some questions.
I actually think Ragnar is so stunned by like the audacity of the situation that he doesn't have any questions that come to mind other than how many bidders there are. Like, if we're going to like manipulate the bidders, like what can he tell us about the bidders?
Yeah, that was my question.
There are 7 bidders in all. We have one Caltho the Hutt, Shreya Ordasa, Mil Makir, Pos Produra, Zekra Full, Eliza, and a Vorst Tabarith. He's kind of Eris's husband, if you didn't know. He's kind of possessive. But that's about all I can tell you about them.
So you're looking to rob your son-in-law?
She's alright with it.
Problem solved.
Okay, can you tell us more about these people?
Not much more. You're going to have to do a little bit of groundwork on your own for that one. I've been keeping a low profile here, if you know what I mean.
Well, when does this auction take place?
As I said, in a few days from now. Like 3 or 4, I don't know. I'll find out and tell you ahead of time. Don't worry about it. Chill, brah.
Well, that's a question.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
It'll be fine.
Shut the fuck up.
I corked my head and attempted to discern whether this individual is intoxicated.
A little. I've been waiting for like 12 days.
Like a week.
I've been waiting for a long time, okay? Do you know how much booze costs here?
You guys would have had like 2 weeks to do this, but you took so goddamn long to get here.
Well, look, I sped up B as fast as I could, man.
I
Still
did
gotta
my
get those
part.
Any other questions for this man? You can ask.
Well, what can I tell us about the place that's holding it? Aside from that it's ill-equipped to hold something so valuable.
Well,
Or is this literally a build-it-yourself heist with somebody that
he's
just has
basically
an idea?
like, I can only tell you that the place doesn't have the security to do it, but how you guys go around getting to the gem itself, that's up to you.
Yeah,
There's literally just a guy with an idea looking to hire people to do all the work.
Yeah. You need an idea guy.
What a jerk.
He's the idea guy.
You know, that would be my query. I suppose is like what is he like contributing to, like, I suppose, like, say like we do manage to like steal the jewel and then like steal the money, like where does it go from there? Like what do we do with, like, how do we like resolve the situation? Because if this is like a supposedly like rare, like so rare that like bidders from like I don't know all over the known galaxy are coming to bid on this thing, we don't just like take that and like liquidate it down and then like easily hawk that. Like there might be a lot of individuals involved with the process. Like where does it go once we successfully complete this job, Aaron?
Well,
I saw that coming.
the guy is basically like, listen, I'm mostly stealing this gem because the asshole who owns it ruined my father, ruined my business.
Who owns it?
A man by the name of Morris Grayson. And he's kind of the commissioner of the Imperial Trade and Commerce Authority. And he's an example of why everyone hates Imperial bureaucracy.
I thought the reason people hated imperial bureaucracy is that it usually got you killed or sent to a prison planet.
Well,
Anyways, Aaron will go into a long spiel about how how his family used to be tax administrator. He basically goes into what is basically his story, his life story. He's been working here for 10 years as a tax administrator in Cloud City.
so that nobody likes him.
He's been skimming off the top, and sharing just enough with people to keep the operation quiet and use the underground to ensure that no one squeals. The new Baron Administrator of Cloud City, on the other hand, Lando Calrissian, is trying to clean up the city's corruption, and I decided to cut and run. And I only chose this time perfectly because this is the perfect time for me to backstab that Morris Grayson. Before I came here, I was a wealthy investor of a bank. And then a commissioner of A1 Trade and Commerce Authority decided that the bank no longer needed to be independent. You can see where this leads. He basically ruined my life, and now I'm here, living out of
What do you guys think?
I, as a player, am totally having my character look at him dubiously, as if, like, like, I'm not sure whether he's just, like, intoxicated, or desperate, or crazy, or, like, Like, he seems
Yes.
like he's done some. I guess after all of the hardened years I've had on the Fringe, I'm not willing to trust Idea Man.
Listen,
Yeah, idea
This-
man that doesn't want to get his own hands dirty.
listen. I'll get my hands dirty too. You just watch and you see. But we're gonna be splitting this thing 6 ways. 1 for me, 1 for Eris, and 4 for you. And this thing could be worth hundreds of thousands of
But
credits.
there's supposed to be 5 of us.
Look, obviously, the entire show. I mean, I'm totally willing, like, to take this discussion out of character. I'm willing to, like, play along with this and attempt to, like, do all these things. But, I just wanted to submit out there that, this guy has been effectively portrayed for me as a guy who, I am expecting a dagger, perhaps just as much, if not more so, than the Moth. He seems almost unstable, and if
You'd be correct.
Almost.
and if
Almost.
and if what he has told us is true, he's got a lot of vengeance and high emotions here on the table, because
Yep.
this guy who owned this jewel has apparently screwed his entire family, and
Hey. Anyways,
So
since you guys have
we need to
basically
be ready
all-
to backstab him.
since you guys seem to be all
Here
but
comes
ready to
the-
go, Aaron Shen's going to say, I have other business to attend to. Eris will answer any more questions you have. Ta-ta!
he's just like fucking.
And
He just phases off into the sunset.
Ta-ta!
he's gone. Eris, on the other hand, seems a little bit more down to earth and less crazy. And less drunk.
For now.
And
He-
less
he-
crazy
fix it.
drunk.
She does basically know the street value of the gem, if you want to know.
My curiosity would be like whether she can tell us more about the bidders, particularly since her husband is one of them.
Now, let me see. That they put the actual bidder information on like a different section of this thing. God dang it. I'll just go there.
Fuck you, Fantasy Flight Games. I need that information blurb right here.
Pretty much.
You're not supposed to give it to your players yet.
Too bad.
There's no page 5059.
That's a long adventure module.
On page 5059.
She's like, I can't really tell you much about most of them, but I can tell you about my husband. He's Vorst
He's the cock,
Tabarith.
right?
He's a giant cock, yeah. Although he's very rich and he has assets that you can make him a great contender at the competition. I don't really know if he's actually interested in the jewel itself. I kind of asked him to get it for me.
What does he do here on Cloud City? I saw he had hired protection for you. Like, what is this?
He's kind of a mob boss.
Oh.
So that makes...
Nice.
Well,
He's kind of very easy to recognize. He's got a fearsome reputation around here. It's big. He's actually almost as big as you, big guy, and maybe not as tall. Probably a little bit wider, though. Great big bushy beard.
so a hut and a mob boss so far.
Yeah.
Which is basically to say 2 mob bosses.
Hey, whoa. Some huts are involved in technically legal things.
That's about it. He's,
Yeah, not one's looking to buy gems worth tens of thousands of credits.
No.
I can't really tell you much about the other people, but there's still stuff going on that you might be able. There's other places that you can look.
Alright, do you have any suggestions or possibilities for what we could look into in
You
the next
did
3
say
days?
you would show us around, so maybe you should show us some places we could investigate.
You can look. There's all sorts of things. The people. There's a couple cantinas around here. There's some lightly defended computer terminals, if you know what I mean. She's gonna elbow Lissa.
And wink.
Hey, whoa, I'm not stable enough to keep my. I
Don't shake the drink.
I mean, she's also gonna write. She's also going to type out and give you a data pad with the address of the location. Says if you want to, scope it out.
Yeah, I can do that. Just
Yeah. There's a place. The 4.5 Cantina and basically the entirety of Port Town are the best places to find people who might know what's going on.
how do we get in contact with you?
Well, here's my comlink information, and thankfully Cloud City is wired up enough that should not be too hard to get in contact with me through that.
Okay.
You're not,
so
you're not even asking the most obvious question.
apparently it's not that obvious.
Okay, God, that's maybe we disagree with the adventure path. I'm what the most
Hey!
telling.
How much is the gem worth?
Well,
It
I mean,
was
they just
suggested-
said that we'd be getting tens of thousands of
It was
credits.
You've got
suggested, yeah,
hundreds
the
of
payout could be tens of thousands, but that would be based on stealing the bids from multiple people.
Yeah, and I was working on the assumption that we were just going to get paid whatever we get paid. These are the guys who are actually going to fence the gem.
I mean, I am tempted to like ask her, like, seeing as how she might know, like, seeing as how her husband is one of the bidders for this, like, what the history behind the jewel is. Like, why would so many people care about this thing?
Most people just care about it because it's just a large piece of rock.
Is there anything like
Shiny.
special about the rock other than that it's shiny?
It's
Really
a
shiny.
Karuska
Forest?
gem. That I guess they use those in those freaking weird lightsaber things that those Jedi
So
people
it's
have.
actually illegal then.
Highly illegal.
Highly illegal, and the leader of the Commerce and Trade Authority owns it.
Okay. Is there any like reason why this like Cloud City was chosen as like the location for this auction that she can think of?
Generally a decent place along the trade lanes. People come here just to do trading. It's kind of a gambler's paradise.
Okay.
I mean, there is a race going on soon.
Okay, apparently Karuska gems are basically super diamonds,
All right.
including being ridiculously hard.
A race, huh? Well, yeah, I'm interested in like that might be like a place for like us to like socialize or schmooze or like learn more information about this. What's this race about?
Well, the Cloud City Grand Prix.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, this is something that the last administrator started up as a tourist attraction and a gambling event. Basically, you have a bunch of cloud cars plying around some obstacle course that they have set up out there. It's kind of fun. Yeah, and it's taken off more than he can assume. It's kind of the reason why Cloud City became, the popular tourist destination that it is. And
Or in Monaco.
yeah, the winner of the Grand Prix each year gets a small degree of celebrity within Cloud City. Is often invited to gala events, functions, auctions. You know what?
That was going to tie into another question about how the hell we were going to get into this damn thing.
I'm guessing it's being suggested this is how we get our invite.
It's one of the ways. This
That-
this book
that
is
we would have to-
wide open.
We would have to, well, apparently with 5,000 plus pages.
Oh,
But
Apparently.
to,
Well,
if we could win this race, apparently that's one of the entry tickets,
mm-hmm.
all right.
to which I would be looking at either Jay or Lissa, because I'm only good with spaceships. And that's a
And-
relative term.
Jay is pretty solid in atmospheric craft.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But can you enter a droid into this race?
Well, what we
Maybe
could
if
probably
he's-
do is like socialize with like some people. Like there might be like plenty of sabotage like situations, or like some folks might be down on their luck. We might be able to secure ourselves an entry in exchange for backing someone. Another
seriously,
question.
what?
Another question
Go
I
ahead.
have is like whether she can give us like any ideas, like places to avoid going.
Everywhere we need to go.
Probably a good idea to keep away from the security office and just sort of wandering in there with blasters held high.
Okay.
I really couldn't tell you a place to stay away from.
All right. Let's make that simpler. Like, where does her husband work? What does he own, so that I never go there?
Oh, okay. Here's his address of a couple warehouses that he works out of, and a cantina that you probably weren't going to go to in anyways. But
Okay. I just want to confirm that because I don't want to end up in a place where her husband works. Because
All right.
you know,
I'll bust.
I already have one bounty on me.
Let's just collect them.
All right. So I'm going to ask for some. No, these are going to be average rolls to get some more information, basically out of her and in general that you have gained.
Okay.
That you had gained just in general. Computers.
Computer.
Not it.
And it's a diff 2.
Yeah, it's a difficulty too. All right. You're going to need a competent slicer. That's you. You're going to need some computer spikes and
Got
some
gear but no spikes on.
and encryption samples, and the surveillance system at the in the art museum would probably should be disabled for the heist. You know that would probably be a good idea. Just in general, that'd probably be the best idea, and it's possible that you can pull that off. Now, does anyone have knowledge lore? I'm going to assume not.
Nope.
Unfortunately,
Smart.
I was kept as a slave for some portions of my life, and I was a moisture farmer before that, so lore didn't really enter into the equation.
I grew up on a tribal hunting world.
It's a two difficulty thing anyway. So
And Jay's 4.
As highest int would be the
yes,
J is 4.
I'm 4 years old.
thing. Does anyone have int above 3?
No, you are int winner.
This is your adventure path.
Oh, the int. It's real.
Yeah.
The non-combat, it's real.
The ambient.
Real as shit.
Oh man.
You know, Lissa knows that Karuska gems may also be used as lightsaber crystals, meaning they are potentially as deadly as they are beautiful.
It's a very strange thing to randomly know untrained.
Well, it's whatever.
Hey,
Yep.
Okay, this is something
you
that's something you
smuggled
might
a lot
know.
of it.
Aaron, do you know? Do you have Underworld knowledge? Underworld?
I have no knowledges.
Does anyone have?
I
Lana.
do, but not much.
Lana.
Is 3 better than 1 and 2?
3 is probably better than the thing, but both you guys can roll this.
Yeah, in fact,
Could,
Underworld isn't even in career for me.
Is it really?
Really?
Is it possible to do a skilled assistance with
Yes,
her
it would be.
intellect and my skill?
Yes, it would be. You have 2 greens and 1 yellow.
My brains and your brains.
Both of our brains. My brains and
My
your
brains!
Sure, I'll roll it just to mix. Or
Oh.
there you go.
I'll fuck it up for us. I got it.
Yeah, well, you don't. You really don't know much about the underworld thing here, but hey, you know it has to
For
do something.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did it.
We'll use that one because I'm generous. Under Dominic Rayner, the last Baron Administrator of Cloud City, crime and corruption flourished. Many of the casino moguls and government officials are still in the pockets of the crime lords, or are crime lords themselves. You would think, after seeing Aaron's behavior, that he seems to be one of the latter.
Or he thinks he is.
That man thinks he's a lot of things.
Okay, does anyone have knowledge Outer Rim? I'm going to assume no. That means Lissa only.
Horde.
Come on, Lissa.
Look, let me tell you how many knowledge skills I have as career skills
No.
in my fucking kill everything build.
Okay.
0
None.
for me.
Make a mechanics roll at difficulty too.
You definitely have knowledge punching.
I have knowledge punching. If
Knowledge punch.
if we ever need to like study the history of pugilism, I got us covered.
Do you really?
You think if you could get a hold of one of those Cloud City cars to, get in the Cloud City race, that you could modify it to suit your needs, and it might also be. You figure that it might also be a good idea to actually get a hold of the schematics to Cloud City to figure out the best entrances and exits for the art museum.
Logical ideas.
Mm-hmm.
They have no place here.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, you guys, Eris does recommend that you can use this place as a base of operations for while you're here. It's paid out for the rest of the standard month.
I was gonna ask if I could make an education roll to see if I would know a good place to get said schematics.
Aside
Or
from being a
requisition.
celebrity,
Mm-hmm.
what does a winner of the Grand Prix get?
What does a winner of the Grand Prix get?
Because I'm wondering if we can hustle these motherfuckers.
Do the hustle.
We're going to continually compound this shady opportunity.
Because
Within a heist.
putting it out there, entering a clumsy protocol droid into the Grand Prix seems like a great joke option that turns out to not be a joke.
Come on. How many pages do you need for frickin' race in this game?
A lot.
Welcome to...
You have to make a roll for
Yeah,
every
with some
turn.
Page 3,754.
You're generally not.
combine that with some
It doesn't tell.
race fixing and sabotage, and
It doesn't tell you exactly how much you're going to get paid, but you want to win it. I'm assuming. It's an amount of money that you're going to want.
She doesn't know what the exact amount
yeah.
is. Maybe it's dependent on it fluctuates from year to year, and so she's not sure the exact number. She's
Yeah,
not
well,
it's probably
cared that much
based-
about racing.
it's probably based on the bets cast.
Mm-hmm.
The racers probably get a cut if they win.
Anyway, she's gonna recommend that you sort of, I think the best place to start this thing is for you guys to case the joint. Just go to the art museum and look around.
Couldn't hurt, I guess. Well, it could, but it's something to do.
Appreciate arts, sort of.
I mean, it's not like
Would
they're gonna
that be perception or skullduggery?
Well, you're actually gonna go there. It's actually a thing, Aaron.
Right, I'm asking what would casing be, though?
Multiple checks.
And role-playing, because we're going to go to the museum.
It's a night at the museum.
Alright. I'll wear my finest.
During the day.
I'm just gonna. Your finest.
A daytime of night at the museum.
You know? I actually am interested in going to the art museum, but for reasons which don't entirely connect to this jewel.
Don't worry. And we'll just leave that layer. Go over here. Get the fog tool. Get rid of this. Don't worry about the security patrol route. That was left over from last time.
Okay.
I hadn't even zoomed out yet.
It's fine.
But since you mentioned that things are being revealed, I may as well zoom out.
Yeah. It's not exactly to scale, but oh well.
Screw dragging my character. Cut paste. You're already inside.
Rakchar is the primary exhibit in Hall 2.
I'm at number 1. I'm at the main door. Hi.
No!
I'm like the Walmart greeter.
Oh god, they'd never get another patron.
Anyways,
Every time
Figs.
somebody walks in, he just yells at them.
Figs and Associates is the place that is going to be during the jewelry is going to be auctioned here during a gala event, which is sort of being hyped up. It's usually one of the. If you decide, basically, I'm assuming you're trying to meet there during the day. Basically, you're going there as tourists.
Sure.
Yeah, it looks to be around full between 30 and 40 people in there right now. It's not exactly, amazingly full of high class people. Some of them look at you funny, but they're like, whatever. They've seen weirder in here.
And honestly, people aren't really going to pay attention to Jay.
Yeah,
Well,
the place is
And as a piece of art. I mean, look at him.
the place is gaudy, expensive looking, but it also has an air of it just being hurriedly put together, like it was built for this thing.
Guys, that's our in. We're going to, when nobody's in one of the rooms, set
Alright,
Jay up as
so one of the pieces
display.
of information that I'm interested in learning is what is the gala event built around? Is it the actual jewel, or are they here for another purpose, and then the jewel is just like a cherry on top?
It's the jewel.
Okay.
It's the jewel. Anyways, you're standing in the reception. The reception area is dominated by a massive statue rendering in various shades of dolomite. The statue depicts a middle-aged human in a well-tailored suit with the
The
slick back,
craft workmanship is of the highest quality.
slick back hair. The inscription reads simply, Excelsius Figs. A small and old-fashioned information console stands by the door. A Lutralin male with a friendly and alert expression and a gleaming silver C3 protocol droid Man the large wooden table set up beside the electro turnstile.
Okay, so the plan is to gank the C3 protocol droid and steal his plating from me. No one will notice. No, but seriously, we probably need chrome plating as it's.
The Lutrillian mail says tickets. Would you guys like to purchase tickets to see the museum?
How much is a ticket?
12 credits each.
Yeah, I'm totally
Yes.
interested.
Actually,
Yeah.
Jay probably doesn't need to pay.
Yes, droids enter free, provided they are close to their owners at all times.
Come along, droid.
Beep boop.
I also like how this game actually lists tickets for children. Ugnaughts only run 7 credits.
Can we convince them that we are Ugnaughts on each other's shoulders?
No.
Yeah, Rockshar's just a 5 Ugnaughts in a trench coat.